A new study shows that Americans are split on whether businesses should have to serve same-sex couples.
The study done over the past week looks beyond the issue that has gone all the way to the Supreme Court. And 24-hour News 8's Eric Feldman dug into some of the eye-opening statistics for us tonight, Eric.
That's right, Phil. We got some double takes with this one. About 40% of respondents say business owners should not have to serve interracial couples either. And to be clear, these Americans aren't necessarily against gay marriage or interracial marriage. They just believe business owners should have the choice.
An issue going to the highest court in the land all over a cake in Colorado, and whether a baker who is Christian should be required to bake one for a same-sex couple.
I think it should be up to the business owner.
Personally, I would never do that to someone.
As the Supreme Court mulls the case, IU sociology professor Brian Powell wants to find out, how do Americans across the country feel about the issue? The numbers,
it's alarming.
A surprise to some of the people we spoke to. About half believed a business owner should have the right to deny a gay couple.
Same sex, I guess I go more biblical.
Most saying it shouldn't be limited to religious reasons, but because they should have the option.
Even people who said that they were in favor of same-sex marriage believed, the large percentage believed, that you can still deny service.
It extended to interracial marriages. About 40% said small businesses should have the right to turn those couples away, which surprised some Hoosiers.
Now, is it just because we're more used to interracial marriages now? And
it's actually, the law says you have to.
It is illegal to deny service to an interracial couple. And that's one of the reasons Powell says he was surprised by the results.
That is not consistent with the Constitution. It's not consistent with American values. So does that pattern worry me? Yes, it does.
Now, to be clear, in that last comment, Powell was not taking a stance on the Supreme Court battle on serving same-sex couples. He was talking about American opinions about rights already guaranteed in our nation. In the newsroom, I'm Eric Feldman, 24-hour News 8.